We did go into schools. We had a schools program. We had an education program that had many facets to it. Not only did we visit schools, but schools were able to participate in the games online.
Mr. Furlong, as a student, I've noticed that there have been so many opportunities these games for young people to get involved. And I was wondering, what kind of impact do you think that the youth made on Vancouver 2010?
I believe that the Olympic Games was discussed in every classroom. I believe it was discussed in every home. I believe that every child who was watching this was looking at it and thinking about possibilities. Kids were talking to each other about things that matter. And I think the youth of Vancouver will grow up and be able to point back to this time in Vancouver when something changed. I think I would be surprised that if every Canadian child, especially the young people living in Vancouver, haven't had a transformational experience as a result of what happened here.
I would like to introduce Steve Garland, who is the principal at Carson Graham Secondary School in North Vancouver, and also like to introduce Cindy Smith, who is a teacher at College Heights Secondary School in Prince George.
It really hit me, and I know in dialogues with discussion with staff and students, we, about 3 days prior to the opening of the games, the torch relay came by our school. We had an opportunity to release our entire school and our staff to be able to walk, to see something that really, until you were in that moment, weren't really sure what to expect, but an incredibly emotive piece. We're in a business of teaching and learning, and I don't think that we could have scripted a more incredible learning opportunity. It's about teachable moments. It's about experiential learning. The time leading up to the games, but particularly during the games itself was an opportunity for us to share as a community. Our school was not, our school district chose to continue to be in session during the games. And there was some debate prior to the games whether or not that should be the case or we should have that time off to kind of reduce traffic issues that might happen during the games. I'm really thankful that we chose to stay in session, to be able to have a daily opportunity to dialogue, discuss, share human story. That's what we do. Teaching and learning is about sharing human experiences, regardless of curricula. And to feel that energy when you walked in a building every day, to know that it was probably the first point of conversation, contact between teachers and students when they walked in a class.
We have a very different experience because we're not from Vancouver. We're from the north. We're 8 hours farther away. So when we were first invited to participate in this project, I think my students just thought field trip, and away we went. We came back and we were so excited because there were so many possibilities. So from that point on, we started to build. And our students participated in the very first webcast where we interviewed Carol Wynn. It gave our students wonderful opportunities for developing speech, for sitting up here and interviewing, and then they were invited to the Teachers' Congress. That was intimidating, but boy, were they ever good. So then we take 4 students and we go back to our own school, and how do you build from there? As you said, we're a social gathering place. So all of a sudden we had Olympians coming in. Olympians spoke to us and inspired us. One boy after one experience came up and he says, I was knocked out flat from my running. He says, I had pneumonia, I had diaphragm complication, but this Olympian has motivated me to get back into the sport because I'm going to be in the next Olympics. So you have wonderful stories coming out of all these different ones. I hear students coming and say, I heard this, I participated in this, I'm going for it. So those were motivational stories, but as a leadership teacher, you start thinking, whenever there's a project, you jump on the bandwagon. Well, this hasn't been a project, this has really truly been a dream.
When I was lost on the SkyTrain, a guy gave me directions to Thunderbird Stadium, even though he had a Swedish flag in his hand and I had a maple leaf on my cheek. I think that I've learned that being a global citizen it's not one action or one event, it's a way of life.
I think that everyone's had a blast during these games. It's been absolutely fantastic and an amazing experience, and not only have I had fun, but I've learned a lot of things about global citizenship as well. During the Olympic and Paralympic Games, all these cultures and different races and religions have come together as one, and when everyone comes together, it's our duty to help one another, no matter where we're from or what we believe in. So that's what I've learned.
Not only do the nations come together for the Olympics, but also all the students across BC. We're 8 hours away, and yet we still have webcasts to everyone here. And
what I thought what was cool is that how everyone, like when you went downtown, everyone just kind of put aside their differences in religion or country or whatever, and just kind of became one almost, and was so friendly with everyone.
I hadn't been a huge part of the Olympics until a couple of years ago when we were invited down to Victoria to take part in a conference where there was speeches from Paralympic athletes. I was extremely inspired by one of the athletes by the name of Carla Qualtrough, and she just spoke on the obstacles that she had to overcome, and to see that with so much support and so much dedication from family and friends around, that you can really achieve the things that you believe in.
Hi, my name is Veronica, and I am part of Students Live, which is a group of student reporters, and I was a Paralympic reporter. And when I found that out, at first I was a bit disappointed because I wanted to be an Olympic reporter. But as a Paralympic reporter, I got to go to a lot of events that I wouldn't normally have bought tickets to. And I found that they were very inspiring, and it was an amazing experience.
Now, we would like to show a short video clip featuring students from the Sharing the Dream webcast team, as well as other Canadian students from a program called Students Live. The interview that stands out for me with Sharing the Dream is our interview with Greg Mortensen, and he's quite a famous author and humanitarian. He wrote the books Stones into Schools and 3 Cups of Tea, and I just found him really inspirational. What he does is his organization builds schools in Pakistan and Afghanistan, and he had so much to teach.
We've got to interview a lot of people as well. We actually talked to Rick Hansen, which was amazing, after he had a Sports and Society talk at UBC. So that was really interesting. And then we also got to speak with Alexander Bilodeau and Jennifer Heil. So we've had a lot of opportunities as well.
We've been mainly using the internet because right now it's such a powerful tool. Like social media such as Twitter and Facebook, because if we post our stuff onto there, we know that we have a wider scope, like our audience.
We've been using Blogger, Facebook, and Twitter, but mostly we've been writing and posting pictures on our blogs, but we've been pushing it out through Facebook and Twitter so that more people can find out about it and go and visit it.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm from North Vancouver. I go to Seacoast Secondary School. Where are you from?
I'm from Richmond, and I go to McMath Secondary.
We make the origami, which is supposed to look like the seed of a maple leaf, and there's going to be an LED light on the end. We write our piece, and we shoot it up the tube. It will come out, and it's going to float down. It's part of Code Canada, which is part of the Cultural Olympiad.
This is an interactive art installation, and by artist Alex Bain, and it is about peace and truce. It's the Olympic Truce Project. Governor General of Canada posed the question to all Canadians, in your life or community, how do you make your peace?
I want to take small steps every day to making the world a greener place.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, and hold it until you feel the wind, okay?
Until I feel the wind?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Okay, sweet.
So, hello, this is Sheila Flaherty. Could you tell us what your job is here at the Vancouver Public Library?
I'm the director of the Central Library, so that means I'm in charge of the public side of this building. We've had a lot of new visitors. All of these people that are coming to make their peace, tons of them have never been to the library before, so we're very happy to see them.
Hi, so where are you from?
I'm Tanya, and I'm from here in Vancouver, and this is Sophia.
So great. So what does it feel like to be part of this Cultural Olympiad and making your piece today?
Well, I think it seems really incredible to be part of something much bigger than just here in Vancouver, something that's across the country and across the world. So it's pretty special. You feel very connected with the world.
Hi, we are here with Ray Hull, the creative director. So what does it feel like to have this, that you've worked on so long, this exhibit, finally come to life with all the people coming to enjoy it?
I think what is particularly lovely is that people are enjoying just the act of doing it, the act of putting the origami together and the maple seed. But as much as they're enjoying it, many people are really thinking about what to write down in terms of thinking in their own lives about how can they make peace in their life or community. One of the aspects of the origami is that in as many different languages as possible, we've said make your peace, so that it's a way of welcoming people, so that even if they don't speak English or French, they can see